Hi, welcome to the Rude Dog Show. Good evening, everybody.
Sports and entertainment. This is the Rude Dog Show. Now, here's your host, Rudy Reyes.
Hopefully you can hear the audio, because I can. It's in my ears. Loud and proud. I guess you could probably talk about those fans back in Denver right now. 2 games, 3-1. Going back home into Denver. This is Rudy Reyes on the RudeDogShow.com. You can find me on Sideline Sports. Follow him on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Why don't you? Don't you know? At Rude Dog Reyes on Twitter. I want to thank everybody for the shout out, for the love. Today was a very bittersweet Friday. Of course, always great to know you have good news to share with everyone. Hopefully, it's inspiring to let everybody know that you're on to great things and doing good things and always grinding and, never stopping, never ceasing. Speaking of grinding and never ceasing, the Denver Nuggets are on a serious tear right now. And I don't say that because they're the better team of the two. Well, actually, I am saying that. They are the better team. They've been playing like the better team from the beginning of the season. Not the playoffs. Certainly number one for a reason. Been playing number one from the onset of the season, knowing what's in front of them, unsure how they were going to get there, but more importantly, it's really about how they got there, the way that they got there, the mentality they had to get them there to the point of no return. And of course, the only return they're going to make is back to Denver, where they're only one game away from winning their first NBA title. How cool would that be for you Nuggets fans at home right now watching and wondering, am I believing what I'm seeing? Am I believing in the Nuggets right now? I don't know. You should be if you're a fan and you're in Denver. I lived in Denver, so I know that Nugget fever, and I don't mean the line outside of McDonald's. I mean, this is like a Nugget win of wins, winning 108-95. They're leading the series 3-1. And it's kind of amazing when you think about this Miami team. It just does not seem to know how to stop. And they keep grinding, and they're right there behind you. This game was relatively out of control with a 12-point lead. A 13-point lead. Sadly enough, there wasn't enough. Bam Adebayo, 11 rebounds, 3 points. Jimmy Butler, 20 points for Adebayo, 25 for Butler, 7 for 7. And there's a lot of guys who really just didn't do a whole lot. 2 for Vincent, 12 for Love. They hit sparsely. They didn't get the kind of assist that they were looking for. Ball sharing, being able to get the ball through screens, setting up pick and rolls, those types of things, the fundamental things, they were just not capable of doing tonight against a very well-coached, well-oiled machine in the Denver Nuggets. I'm not floating their boat. I mean, look, they got 20 points in the first quarter, 35 in the second, 31 in the third, and 22 in the fourth. The Miami Heat just could not find a way to outscore them in any of the 3 quarters, and we've seen this time and time again. Yeah, okay, so fine. They tied 22 points each, but at that point, it was already too late. They knew how to maintain a lead, even when Bruce Brown was inserted inside of this game, which certainly begs to reason signing a 2-year free agent deal with the Denver Nuggets. And it just makes you wonder how much more the Miami Heat can actually do to prevent this Nuggets team from getting inside of the paint. Between the Joker double-double tonight, not quite a triple-double for him, but certainly a performance nonetheless that certainly proved why he's there. 23 points, 4 assists, 12 rebounds. Jamal Murray just absolutely on fire. 15 points, 12 assists, 3 rebounds. I mean, they're sharing the ball. Aaron Gordon, KCP, Michael Porter, Bruce Brown, as I mentioned earlier, 21 points. This guy was absolutely on fire. They just don't have the speed to block out the paint, to allow these guys to mainly shoot from the perimeter, disallowing them from getting inside of the paint and driving inside of the lane for 2 points. It almost looked like the Heat were nearly out of gas. And of course, when you put another log on the fire, you certainly have more heat. Unfortunately, I think they were out of logs at that point. Maybe going to the local hardware store would have served them a better purpose to pick up a couple logs. to throw on that fire to get them going. It just was not enough. And early and often you see these guys just trying to fight them off, trying to creep back in this lead. Jimmy Butler does not have this dominant center guy that Nikola Jokic has as a part of that combo, as part of that group. The concentration between what the Denver Nuggets have and what the Miami Heat have, there's just nothing that you can do. You thought in the last series between the Nuggets and the Lakers that Anthony Davis had a serious advantage over Nikola Jokic. The problem was that they were too slow off the pace. Nikola led the offense at times, but for the most part, he was shooting from the top of the key, making those three-point shots look so easy going in. And he's done it all season long. He's done it in this series. He did it in the series before. He has done this so many times. I think the Nuggets are just due to get this championship, bringing it back to Denver. And oddly enough, when I look at this game, I think to myself, man, there are no parallels. There are absolutely no parallels whatsoever between who the Nuggets are, what the Nuggets are, and what they could be in the next 2 or 3 years. Now, will Bruce Brown be there as a part of free agency, or will he stay with the team? Will he sign a longer deal for him? I think you do. I believe you do. If you're Malone, you're the front office of the Denver Nuggets, you sign this guy up ASAP. KCP, speaking of ASAP with a 3-letter acronym, and Contavious Caldwell Pope. Look, the Lakers didn't try to re-sign him for whatever reason. They wanted him to test the market, and he did. And he tested that market, found himself in Denver, and just being an absolute monster down the stretch from three-point land, getting inside of the paint. The guy just has what it takes. He has the desire. He has the passion. And these guys feed off of one another. This isn't an ill-fated, all of a sudden now we have a playoff contention team. No, it doesn't work that way. These guys play in complete concert with one another. They've done it all season long. They continue to do it. I just think they are the better team. They've showed it time and time again. Each game, other than the one that they had lost originally, they made the corrections. There's certainly a team to contend with. And again, they're not contending. They're contending at a very high level, at a very high pace. Some of those calls weren't exactly going right for Denver. Jimmy Butler charged. It was a shoulder lead on Jamal Murray. That was a botched call by the referees. Maybe they'll go back and look at the film. I don't know. But with that being said, there's just so many things to like about this Nuggets team, how they're playing, the way that they're playing. Michael Porter Jr. stepping up when he needs to. Jeff Green with a steal near the end of that game. So again, it just makes you wonder exactly, the sky is the limit for the Denver Nuggets, or is that sky falling down on them as they reach 52-80 heading back into Denver? That remains to be seen. This is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show on Sideline Sports Network. Make sure you guys check me out. Go throw them a follow. Go throw me a follow for that matter. Go to therudedogshow.com. Find a lot of great interviews, conversations, topics from mental health to players I've interviewed at past Super Bowls. Just so much to love. So many things that are together for a lot of different reasons, and a lot of great talent to go along with that. Go to the Issues of Sports. Check out Evan McCoskey, and I will be having a podcast here on, well, maybe tomorrow. I guess we're going to find out. I know Stanley Cup finals are now more contentious now that the Florida Panthers won at home with that Tkachuk last goal there at the near like the 2-minute mark in the third period. It was just absolutely amazing how they were going to pull that out of their hat. And you were wondering if Tkachuk was going to come back in because of that hit he had taken near center ice by the Vikings. Excuse me, not the Vikings. Las Vegas Golden Knights. There's just so many things to like. Of course, we talk about the Minnesota Vikings. You think of Dalvin Cook. He was let to walk today, allowed to walk. He can sign with any team at any point. He could have a conversation, touching on a little bit of NFL there, a little NHL, and of course, majorly talking about the NBA. But hey, look, it's been a very great week, great for sports. I certainly appreciate it. I thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all the love on all my social media channels. And I will keep you guys updated as to what that looks like. You can always listen in, but of course, that'll be a plug-in for a later time. I certainly want to thank everyone for your ongoing support. I appreciate you tuning into the show. And make sure you check out either tomorrow night's show. We're not quite sure what day that's going to be, tomorrow or Sunday. Make sure you check it out. It's always fun. It's always nice to get on the air with Evan. And with that being said, this is Rudy Reyes on the RudeDogShow.com. Make sure you like my YouTube channel. This video will be posted there. So make sure you tune in. Again, I appreciate you. Thank you for checking me out. And thanks again. Have a great evening. And we'll see you guys either tomorrow or Sunday on the Issues of Sports. Make sure you retweet it, like it, love it, share it, because, well, I like that kind of thing. And I'm sure Evan does as well. Thank you so much. Have a great night.